بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إنك لا تنادي فهبوا يا بني قومي أسودا أعيدوا للدنا أمجاد عصر وفلوا بالحديد لنا القيودا.
Hello everyone, this is Colin once again. I'm making a response, it's going to be a short response, to Ahmed's Quran 3's newest video, which is Part B of Muhammad's Paradise. Now, I eagerly awaited this video, and if any of you have watched Part 1 of my response to him on this very topic, you'll know that I was really interested in seeing what he was going to come up with for Part 2. So he just came out with it not too long ago, and it's another 10-minute video. So here I thought it was going to have a whole bunch of great information, come to find out that it was just more of him rambling on about more Quranic verses, and then he'll throw in some really cheesy, bigoted statements here and there. For example, he pretty much is trying to imply that, if I could sum up his argument, that the heaven described in Islam is nothing more than a heavenly whorehouse that is giving the lustful, carnal, physical pleasures that were denied the Muslims during their physical basically existence during their life. That's basically how I can sum up his argumentation. Now, he says that the Islamic concept of paradise is stupid, it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous, essentially, is what he says. Before I forget, he also said it was plagiarized from the Zoroastrians and the Hindus and things like this. Now, what's really interesting is I want to mention that if what he's saying is true, and that the plagiarized concept of heaven in Islam is from the Zoroastrians and the Hindus, then therefore by default he must be calling the Zoroastrian heaven and the Hindu heaven stupid and ridiculous as well. Because if Muhammad did steal these details about heaven from these two other religions, and therefore if what he came up with was stupid, then therefore these two religions are also stupid. And let's keep going with that theme, by the way, because as you'll notice, I have a menorah in the frame of the camera, and I want to point out that I will put in the description section the link, a couple links here. The first link is to my first video with regards to this topic. The second will be a link to my blog, which there'll be a lot of great information for those of you who are not familiar with my blog. And my actual video, my first video response to this topic is actually on my blog because it was too large to put on YouTube. The other links, most of them will be from AnsweringChristianity.com because the team of AnsweringChristianity.com have written several articles proving that in Judaism and Christianity there at least is some alluding to heaven in Christianity and Judaism being a physical heaven. And since I mentioned the menorah, let me tell you why I have that in the camera there. The thing is that, again, going with this theme that Ahmed's Quran 3 is saying that Islam plagiarizes their concept of heaven from other revealed religions, and that therefore it's stupid, that therefore they in turn also must be stupid, then therefore what would he say if I could prove that there are similarities in heaven, in the heavenly, paradise as a concept between Islam and Judaism? Would he dare say that therefore Judaism is therefore a stupid religion because heaven is described as having heavenly servants that are beautiful and eternal when they meet a very holy and righteous Jewish man in the afterlife? Would he therefore say Judaism was stupid when it describes food and beverages such as rivers of wine, milk, and honey in paradise in Judaism? Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. These similarities are in the Talmud. That's right. The Talmud is full descriptions about a physical paradise, and as my other link will describe as well, called Come to the Truth, which will be in the description section for you to read, you'll see that Islam's heaven and Judaism's heaven are very similar. Now, having said that, this is why, for those of you out there who like to say that Islam has plagiarized from other religions, the thing is that, and you might view this as a cop-out, and that's totally fine if you want to view it as such, but this is what Muslims believe. Muslims believe that Islam was the first religion given to God for mankind, and that you will find the words of other prophets throughout the entire world speaking of similar theological concepts because they are all preaching from the same source, that being God Almighty. And so when you see in a religion such as Hinduism or Zoroastrian, the Zoroastrian religion, and you see similarities, as Muslims, we have no problem with this. Throughout history, there have been many Muslim scholars that have considered the Zoroastrians and the Hindus people of the book, and have agreed that there are authentic materials that are found in some of the early Hindu scriptures, like the Vedas, and some of the Zoroastrian scriptures as well. So we don't say that this is plagiarism amongst all the religions, but this is proof that Islam and that the message of God Almighty is one in essence, and not actually a division amongst all these religions. Having said that, even if you want to say that that's a bunch of crock and that that's a ridiculous belief system, then okay, let's go with the second understanding. Similar does not mean stolen. And just because you have theological concepts that are similar amongst world religions does not mean that they were stolen by past religions. That's something we have to keep in mind as well. You would have to therefore prove that literally these concepts were literally stolen and are literally so similar that that's the only conclusion that you can come to. The fact remains, and again, there are many articles that disprove the idea that the Quran plagiarizes from outside sources. Again, if you go to IslamicAwareness.org, you'll find many references and articles that disprove the idea that Islam stole theological concepts from anyone. Having said that, I really encourage you to look at the articles I've posted in the description section of this video. Again, you will find an astounding amount of parallels between the Hadiths, the Quranic verses, and the Talmud when it talks about what paradise is going to be like in the hereafter for both Jews and Muslims, and you'll find that they are very similar. So once again, I want to thank Ahmad's Quran 3 for shooting himself in the foot again. The fact is that he himself, being a Christian, he does believe, if you read the letters of Paul, that the hereafter will be nothing but a spiritual existence. However, with the articles you find in Answering Christianity, you'll find that this is actually contrary to what Jesus taught and what is taught by the Bible. You will find that the rest of the Bible does allude to a more physical, corporeal heaven, as opposed to just a plain, literal, spiritual paradise. So, with that being said, it is not far-fetched. It's not stupid that in heaven you will have physical pleasures or physical experiences. It will not all just be spiritual. Thank you everyone for watching. Peace be with you all.